We take great pride in our alumni. Each year, we have the difficult task of selecting a group to honor for their extraordinary achievements. I want to ask Rosella Garcia, our Senior Director of Alumni Relations, to come up and help us recognize our distinguished alumni.
It is my honor to introduce you to the 2016 Distinguished Alumni, a group of 7 extraordinary individuals who are all worthy of our emulation. To our newly admitted students, I hope you'll take note of the caliber of alumni who are among the core of the Teachers College Alumni Network. Ladies and gentlemen, Dr. Randy Bennett holds the Frederiksen Chair in Assessment Innovation at the Educational Testing Service. He is a world-renowned expert on the computerizing of assessments and a leader in efforts to harness the full potential of digital technology and apply advances in learning and cognitive sciences to testing. He also holds 3 degrees from TC in special education and learning disabilities. He served on our faculty from 1977 to 1980. Ladies and gentlemen, Dr. Randy Bennett. Dr. MaryEllen McGuire made her start as a 5th and 6th grade classroom teacher, yet she went on to serve as the Senior Education Advisor to President Obama on the White House Domestic Policy Council. She has since created the Post-Secondary National Policy Institute, which has become the nation's leading source of professional development for policymakers working on higher education issues. She holds 2 degrees from TC, and no less in authority than our own Professor Sharon Lynn Kagan says that she has had as much, if not more, impact on federal policy than any TC alumnus. Ladies and gentlemen, Dr. MaryEllen McGuire. Dr. Lida Orzeck earned her TC degree in social organizational psychology, working with Morton Deutsch, the great authority on conflict resolution. In a career change that surprised even her, she became founding partner and CEO of Hanky Panky, a lingerie line so successful that Forbes magazine has said it sells a panty per second. For nearly 40 years, she has set the bar for ethical business standards that promote local sourcing, sustainability, and recyclable packaging. She has also channeled a sizable percentage of earnings to support nearly 60 nonprofits. At Teachers College, she is a founding member of the Grace Dodge Society and a generous supporter of student scholarship. Ladies and gentlemen, Dr. Lida Orzeck. Dr. Nancy Schlossberg is a beloved former professor whose famed transition theory has created a systematic framework for understanding the life changes of adults. She's also America's retirement guru, and her television appearances and best-selling books have moved the national conversation about post-career existence from a focus on mere financial and medical planning to one about our relationships, goals, and sense of purpose. Not surprisingly, she holds 2 degrees from Teachers College, both in counseling. Ladies and gentlemen, Dr. Nancy Schlossberg. Dr. Yupha Udomsakdi earned her TC degree in physical education and made health education her lifelong passion. She has argued that no matter how many resources are invested in hospitals, it won't make a difference if people don't know how to look after their own health. She subsequently became Thailand's first female Minister of Education and the first woman Member of Parliament to be appointed as a minister in the Thai cabinet. She was elected Vice Chairman of the Constitution Drafting Assembly, which created the most democratic constitution in her nation's history. Today, she is a successful business leader whose foundation funds education projects in rural villages like the one in which she grew up. Ladies and gentlemen, Thailand's beloved, Dr. Yupha Udomsakdi. David Johns came to TC to study classroom and community dynamics, but through Aaron Pallas's sociology courses, he discovered the world of education policy and ended up heading to Washington, D.C. as a Congressional Black Caucus Foundation Fellow. He went on to serve as the Senior Education Policy Advisor to the Senate Committee on Health, Education, Labor, and Pensions. he was most recently named to the newly created post of Executive Director of the White House Initiative on Educational Excellence for African Americans. In this role, he is creating multi-agency partnerships to improve educational outcomes for African Americans of all ages. Ladies and gentlemen, our Early Career Award recipient, David Johns. Unfortunately, Dr. Olivia Hooker, who is 101 years young, was not able to be with us today. As a child, she lived through the infamous Tulsa race riots of 1921, in which nearly 300 African Americans were killed. Later, during World War II, she served as the first African American woman in active duty in the Coast Guard. She earned a master's degree in psychological services from Teachers College and became a nationally known advocate for the developmentally disabled. She co-founded the Tulsa Race Riot Commission, which has fought to win reparations for survivors and descendants of the riot victims. An avid advocate for life after retirement, she served in the Coast Guard Auxiliary when she was 95 years old. When she didn't feel quite well enough to join us today, she insisted on taping a message for you. Ladies and gentlemen, let's hear Dr. Olivia Hooker. Dr. Hooker, it is my extreme pleasure to present you with the Teachers College Distinguished Alumni Award.
You are really making me joyful, and I certainly was overwhelmed with the idea that I was nominated. And the person I was talking to said, "You were unanimously voted." I said, "Oh my, that is amazing." It would have been my joy to be with you, and I congratulate you. First, I would like to give tribute to Professor Nick Hobbs, who was at Teachers College, but whom I first met at Ohio State. And he devoted himself to trying to preserve or establish justice for all the vulnerable people who were there. And it was only because of him that I'm here getting this award, because he found ingenious ways to help those who were not being equal to everyone else. I'd like to thank my parents, of course, and also to say the last issue of the Alumni magazine absolutely cheered me, because it showed me how diverse, how many people whose aims have been raised. It showed me what Teachers College in Columbia is like today, and that pleased me so much. And the second thing, I'd like to thank Teachers College at Columbia is for their arranging for us to cross the great divide. So I thank the college for their vision in making sure we had access to their major people in the world in psychology. I have often hoped that people would be encouraged to take a second career, because so many people who retire at 55, they still have so many gains to give to the world. And I shall treasure this day for the rest of my life.
Truly an amazing woman. Ladies and gentlemen, can we have one more round of applause for all of our Teachers College Distinguished Alumni? I'd like to thank the Alumni Council for helping us to select such fine examples of alumni who are doing their part to spread the TC impact all over the world. If you know of an equally deserving TC alumnus or alumna, please nominate him or her. You can find the nomination forms and online and also at the registration desk. And now I'll turn the program back to one of my favorite distinguished alumni, President Susan Furman.
Thank you. What an amazing group. I had not seen that little film with Olivia Hooker. So I hope we can dry our eyes for a moment. So just to tell you that the names of all these distinguished alumni are etched in at the main entrance to Teachers College in Zankel Hall, joining the esteemed group of past distinguished alumni, and each demonstrates in a very vivid way what it means to get a TC education.